Alright. We're back. Hey everybody. We're back. Welcome Midori, welcome Happy, welcome Recall Gyrowolf. That is a beautiful name. Welcome Dizzy. How's everybody today? Hey, please more cats. Hey everybody. Claire, hi Claire. Welcome Midori, welcome. Here we are. Back at it again. That is a beautiful name. Welcome Dizzy. Sorry, I had my own stream's audio on, so probably heard some echoing there. The Diminish soundtrack is live. The support that I have received just since I put the video on YouTube is ridiculous. I mean, first off, the support during the live premiere, I had like 70 viewers there for most of the time, and then right afterward, the Bandcamp. I got so much financial support right away. It's kind of ridiculous. Thank you all very much. Thank you so much, Celine. Welcome. Hope you are well as well. Kept falling asleep to the songs for some reason. I don't mind that. I'm glad that they can be so soothing. What is up, Trey Pavlik? Welcome. Thank you so much, Rikov. Goodness gracious, people are really kind to me. So... I need to... I was thinking about working more on this, of course, and then perhaps working on a video for my tennis account while chatting. Just sifting through the footage. It should be a thing that I can easily do while keeping an eye on chat. Thank you, folks. Thank you. But we'll see. We'll see how the night goes. And I don't know how long I'll go because once again I'm tired today. I got less than 5 hours of sleep, and then was working very hard today on getting the soundtrack all ready to go. I added subtitles to Diminish 1 and 2. They are Midori's subtitles, Cecilia Aragorn's. So please, everyone give Cecilia a round of applause. Midori. Am I right? All of a sudden I'm afraid that I got that wrong. And Cecilia Aragorn is not Midori. When I'm like this, when I'm in this hazy state, sometimes I do things like that. But it was definitely Midori, whoever Midori is. Okay, I'm right. Thank you. And by the way, whenever I figure out how to get an invite for the art house, I will send it your way. That is still on my mind. Still haven't figured it out. I feel like this is the tune, if this is repeating from last time, that reminds me of the tune for the Zora's Domain from Ocarina of Time. Oh, it's over now. Of course. It's really hard to outline those chords without hearing them. So yep, just drawing the Apollo, because what else is there in life? Is there anything other than this? At some point during one of these streams, I might show you guys my main speedrunning project, my main speed game that I am the world record holder in for all of the categories right now. But that might be a night when I actually do attempts on Twitch, or maybe not. Maybe I'll do them here too, if it's just an afterthought. Actually, I don't know, because the only way that I'm able to play that game without input lag is when I do it on my laptop. So I could play it on this setup, but I'll be dealing with input lag that is quite significant, so I won't be able to play at the top level. It is a video game where there is not much competition, and not many people have been, like, you have a game like Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time where people tirelessly, like dozens and dozens of people all over the world, are devoting their lives toward playing the game faster, whether they're grinding out attempts or they're trying to lab new things in the game, discover new things. This is a game that is not like that right now. It's mostly uncontested, and that's not to say that there are people that there aren't people who are very good at the game who are going for my times. I do have very good times in the game, but what I mean to say is I'm not like this god speedrunner. I'm not like this legendary speedrunner or anything like that. But I am good at the game. I will admit as much. But there is a guy who has mentioned that he might give a look at the game, and he is the sort of person who will turn the game inside out, like he has done with the NES version of the game, and is now the world record holder for that. He knows how to dive into the game's, like, all the code and stuff, and figure out exactly how everything works and how to exploit all of it. So once he is able, if he is able to turn his focus to my game at one point, I imagine he will be the world record holder before long. But that'll be amazing, and I would love to be able to try out whatever he finds as well. Is it Diminish? Oh, you'll have to see. Let me catch up a little bit. Thank you, Happy, for the congratulations. Yeah, Cecilia, I will whenever I can. Thank you, Noodle. Welcome as well. Emulators are a bit of a pain to use a lot of the time, from my experience. Yeah, there's definitely variance there, and I tried to play this game on console, but there was still a problem with the input lag based because of my monitors, and the only way I was able to play it was looking through OBS through the capture card, and that's also not ideal. So Rakoff says, "Oh, that's awesome! I love watching speedrun attempts while I work on hobby stuff." Me too. Me too. Technically has every record possible for Diminish. That's very, very true. Trey Pavlik says, watching speedruns, especially Pokemon, are one of my favorite types of content to watch. Are you a Worcester fan, Trey, by chance? I enjoy watching many Pokemon speedrunners. But this past year especially, when Worcester was doing the all Gold Prince speedrun for Soul Silver, that was one of my absolute favorite things to do in 2020, was catch Worcester doing that grind. Yeah, huge Worcester fan. Let's go. Never gonna forget the moment that he finally got the run. A true hype cherry moment. Kingslayer. No, you're not very late. I just started about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I watched it live too, Trey. We were there together. Who knew? Neither of us knew that our lives would lead us to this point. Diminish was not even a twinkle in my eye at that point. It was months away from being a twinkle in my eye. I don't know why I'm making this so clean. It doesn't necessarily need to be that clean. And I definitely could be using different brushes for grabbing these lines. Make it more obvious that this is a ponytail. I wonder what kind of hair things Apollo uses. Yes, Cecilia is right about me having the record for every category in Diminish. Shane, welcome. Shane says, I do lots of programming and I always have YouTube videos up and playing while I work. Speedruns are great background noise for that kind of work, I found. I agree. I had speedruns on very often while working on Diminish. Cecilia says, oh god, I wouldn't be able to focus on coding if I had speedruns on in the background. I can barely even focus with music sometimes because I keep focusing on what should I put in next. Yeah, when I'm coding, I tend to be so single-minded, so focused that I am completely unaware of my surroundings. I will have streams on in the background when I'm coding, but I have no idea what's happening in them while I'm in that grind, in that groove. Yeah, I hope everybody's well at this time. Thank you once again for hopping in and hanging out. It is lovely to be here with you. This is truly a joy and a privilege. Which is why I keep coming back for more. Kingslayer says, yeah, no, seriously though, what's happening? I noticed you started streaming, so I decided to pop in this time. Yeah, it's good to have you. Yeah, this is a new thing for me. I mean, we're not even a week in yet since Diminish 17 dropped, and my entire life changed forever. I think I've streamed 4 out of those 6 days since then. Because I quickly discovered that this was one of my things that I've been looking forward to since the first time I tried it. Because all of you are ridiculously amazing to me. And fun to talk to and generally delightful. So that's what this is about. Just an excuse to talk to all of you. Kingslayer. And I hope you enjoy. It's just gonna be a lot of this. And on days like this, when I'm very exhausted, then there might be points where I'm floundering, trying to figure out what I want to do, but also still kind of not wanting to leave, because why would you want to leave an environment where you have everything you want? Noodle says, only game I can think of that has an active speedrunning community would probably be Celeste. There are countless active speedrunning communities, very, very, very active. Yeah, Mario 64 is very active, and there was an incredible moment that happened last night with the world record in 120 star happening, and the day before that, or was it 2 days before that, the 0 star or any % world record. Kinda nuts. 2021 starting off with a bang for Super Mario 64 speedrunning. Yeah, there are so many active speedrunning communities, even ones that aren't, like, famous for being just, like, overflowing with, like, hundreds of thousands of people. There are tons that are really progressing the games and bustling. Yep, a lot of people who cheat speedruns are being exposed. They are everywhere. Kingslayer says, so I haven't heard of Diminish yet. Is it like a game you made? Oh, you haven't? Okay, you haven't actually heard. Did you follow me through Project Zadia stuff, or how did you find me, Kingslayer? But Diminish is a bit of a rabbit hole, if you haven't heard of it yet. So, I can just link you to the channel. It's in my description. Diminish is we could call it a light horror story. So I did make a game called Diminish, and around the game I created a narrative, and it's a thing. It's definitely not for everyone, but this is sort of... I apologize for not interpreting your question correctly initially, because this stream is mostly... I started doing these streams because the most recent episode for the Diminish web series kind of exploded the series, and I am just kind of streaming with fans and doing stuff for Diminish, yeah. Talking about it. Just enjoying the amazing Diminish community. So freaking fortunate. Trey Pavlik says, yeah, Minecraft speedrunning communities are by far the biggest today. Yeah, it probably is the biggest right now. Super Mario 64 is definitely up there. I can't scroll through the top Twitch streams without seeing Minecraft speedrunners, yeah. Cecilia says, I think we can single-handedly thank Dream for that. Yeah, that's speaking of rabbit holes. Dark Souls is still ongoing for speedrunning? Yeah, of course. If the game is out there, there is a chance... I'd say chances are high that... I shouldn't say that. There are truly countless games that have a very active community, even if it's not huge. Huge and active are different things, because games can still really blossom as speed games, no matter how big the community is, as long as it's a passionate community. There are so many passionate communities right now out there for speedrunning. You watch a guy named Dylan a lot, who streams his runs almost every night, holds 5th place, nice. Rakov says, there's nothing I love seeing more than an older community revitalized by a new strat or world record. Hear, hear. That's very nice. Oh, thank you, Celine. I keep remembering your voice take, and the chemistry of my body changes. What a gift that was. Desi says, do you sketch out Apollo before going in with them hard lines? That's very cool, and I might have to try. Yeah, like these... this is... I don't usually do inking this way. This is still mostly just like how I sketch, where I'm using a pencil. I'm using a pencil tool. And for some reason, like, this is how I did the poster. This is how I did the inking for the album art and the wallpaper for the Diminish soundtrack. And I like doing it this way because I feel way more freedom and control over how the lines exactly turn out. But this is also a very time-consuming way to ink and do line art. Yeah, this is not usually how I do it. This because again, this takes a long time and a lot of energy because I don't even know why I'm going this hard. I should move on. He says as he continues. Okay, stop. Just go. It's fine. No. I have problems. Whatever, okay. Oh, I haven't actually... The eye actually looks fine. I'm surprised. Stiff. It was a decent first attempt, though. Shane says, one thing I remember Tony tweeting about after Petscop is how much he'd love to see someone do a live stream of a game in this genre. Any chance we might ever get a live episode of Diminish someday? Stay tuned, we'll see. Noodle says, I hold the world record for getting motion sick in VR chat. Yeah. I've never done VR before, actually, now that I think of it. BMB, yeah, the fact there's a speedrun community for Mr. Krabs does ketamine and dies is so funny to me. Oh, Noodle says I have to go, it's almost 3 AM. Goodbye. Goodbye, Noodle. Sorry it's so late for you. Yeah, I know this streaming time isn't going to be great for a lot of people. I apologize, but this is usually when all of my commitments are lessened for the day. Trey says, by the end of the series, I want to see a power-up that makes Apollo ultra-cracked like supersonic. Kingslayer says, it's great you got this far. I remember back when you uploaded the first devlog for Project Zadia and being fascinated with your process. Okay, so you are from that. I was thinking earlier about how I haven't seen people, or at least I don't think I've seen many people from before Diminish pop up in these streams, so now you're here. Welcome. Yeah, Diminish is what I was able to sort of get into a published state first, and hopefully the things I've learned from this first act of Diminish are going to allow me to release something from Project Zadia fairly soon. It's I've been locked in a period of some block with it, like creator's block, but also just not being skilled enough to do what it needs to have done. So I'm hoping that I can best that. Celine says, "Oh gosh, thank you so much. Still so incredibly flattered that you like that." Yeah, I mean, I was also thinking about this earlier, like, if there ever comes a day that there's some sort of diminished content that is fully voice acted, and you don't end up being the voice of Apollo, you will always be the first voice of Apollo. You will always be the first voice of Apollo. And it was a very good voice. Yeah, time zones are wacky indeed. VR is great, but I can only do it in short bursts. It makes my eyes get tired. I can only imagine. Yeah, Kingslayer, have you ever heard of Petscop? His tail is, or their tail. Their tail is shorter. I've been slowly enlarging their tail with every new thing that I make. BMD says it's a great tech, but it'll be a while until we get more consumer-level hardware. Yeah, for VR, yeah. Trey Pavlik says, I've seen footage of Project Zadia stuff since finding out about you. It looks like a pretty fun game that I feel Sonic fans and speedrunners would be obsessed over. That sounds very flattering, and I would love both of those things. Very much. Please More Cat says, King Ozo sends their regards. They couldn't make the stream. Oh, that's too bad, but that's totally fine. But much love to you, King Ozo. Hope you're doing well. Kingslayer says, yeah, wasn't it a horror series posing as a Let's Play of a mysterious video game? Yeah, Kingslayer, that's basically what Diminish is doing. So, if that gives you perspective, that is the deal. Yeah, Petscop is weird. Yeah, that's the thing about Petscop BNB is that that Nightmare Masterclass has also said that Petscop is not really meant to be a mystery to be solved. it's just a very raw, evocative work that had many things to get off its chest. And I think it did so with quite a bit of aplomb. Yeah, Trey Pavlik says Petscop basically opened this whole entire genre of content pretty damn revolutionary. I agree. Rakov says, Petscop was really fun to deep dive into, but Diminish calls up a lot of themes that carry an incredible amount of personal significance to me in a way Petscop didn't, so glad Tony led me here. I'm glad he did too. He's been so good to me. I saw he also retweeted my the post about my album. Such kindness. Trey says, I remember finding about Tony being the creator, and I was like, wait, no, what? Yeah, it merits being said every time that when he revealed himself, it was probably one of the most shocking and hard to believe things for the entire community. And every single person who consumed Petscop probably saw his emergence and was like, no, that's not it. That's not him. Can't be. BMB says, speaking of game development and programming, how did you get into the art, and what tips could you give to get into? I have been a doodler for my entire life. I've been drawing since the moment that I became a fan of media, especially Sonic. When I was little, I would try to draw Powerpuff Girls characters. That was probably the first thing that I started drawing all the time when I was really little. And then that progressed into Sonic, of course, and then Mega Man characters. Of course, all the OCs, rampant. And I improved. I developed a certain amateur identifiable style, like a person who has spent a lot of their life doodling and trying to get better, like good enough to create OCs to a satisfactory and readable presentation, but never truly good. And then 2016, late 2016, I started to grind a little bit in 2015. 2016 was when I dropped everything in my life and just said, this is the only thing I want to do, is to be a polymath creator, a generalist creator. Because I also have been studying music for basically my whole life. I knew my whole life that I wanted to go into band. I wanted to pick up an instrument. I picked up trombone. Marching band was incredibly, incredibly important to me. I was lucky enough to be part of a very, very prestigious program in high school that went to Bands of America Grand Nationals twice while I was in high school. That is fortunate. Then at one point was going to college for music. I was in bands for like 12 years straight. Jazz is extremely important to me. So music has always been one of the biggest parts of my life. But art was something that I had to really grind at. You know, like everything in life, but art was not intuitive for me. Especially because art like, visual art is something that takes some of the most discipline and some of the most fortitude in order to grind at, because of how demotivating the process can be, and how crushing it is. And I'm very fortunate to have made it out on what seems to be an other side of, like, the hardest phase. And writing as well. I've been writing my whole life too. Like, I've done most fandom things creatively my whole life. And I made a sprite comic when I was 11 called The Misadventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. And that was my first experience that was kind of like Diminish, where a lot of people caught on to it and were enjoying it, even though it was made by an 11-year-old and it showed. I wish I still had all that stuff around. It's gone with my old computer mostly, but so I would do some art. Of course, it was a sprite comic, but that was where I dabbled, doing art and writing and releasing all that and trying to be more original. And now, 15 years later, here we are. And coding has also been tough, but I'm starting to really enjoy coding these days. It feels so rewarding, the problem-solving aspect, and just the dopamine every single time that you... Like, for Diminish and for Project Zadia, I've been having a lot of moments where I would theorize something. Like, I'd be completely away from the computer, and I'd be thinking about a problem that I've had, or something that I want to implement, and I'll theorize how to do it, or how to solve the problem in my head, and then when I try it that night, it works. It's been happening so often, and that feeling is amazing. I enjoy that very much. Of course, programming is not often that way, and it's mostly just bashing your head into a wall, like everything else you try to get good at. Art is very much that way as well, but yeah, that's a long answer, but I hope that there's some semblance of satisfaction in how it was answered for you. BMB. Catching up now, Cecilia says, yeah, everyone was saying, oh, this is the ending of Petscop, this is the ending, look, she's dancing. Oh, we're talking about the I Saw the Sign episode? Or are we talking about after the soundtrack was released? Desi says off topic, but how do you pronounce Saria? Yeah, it's Saria. You've been thinking Syria or Syria. Yeah, Syria was how I pronounced it first, but I wanted to base it more off of a Japanese etymology, and they say it sei when it's S-E-I, at least when in the Western phonics. So it is Saria. Although I'm fine if you do mispronunciations, I'm not going to be upset. Trey said, I knew after he posted the soundtrack, I knew the series was over. Yeah. Yeah, that ending scene is a poignant sort of exclamation point. Desi says, I found Diminish before Petscop and I haven't checked it out yet. Should I? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. If just for witnessing raw craft. If you don't like it and you don't complete it, that's fine, but it is just pure craft. It is a work of art, so I highly recommend it. He meant programming? I'm sorry. Programming is a bit more abstract in how I am a programmer, because I don't consider myself much of a programmer. I do program, I am a programmer, but I'm very, very beginner and very rudimentary, and the way that I program Diminish is god-awful. I've talked about this briefly before, but the way I did it was basically just what you would call hard coding, and this means that instead of creating programs and functions that will allow me to replicate situations like dialogue and cutscenes, where you could, based on the moment that is occurring in the game recognizes the moment and then plays a certain set of events, because you're able to, through one program, do many different things that way. Instead of doing it that way, like with cutscenes, I wrote out every single line of dialogue in order, and just played it out. Like, I would have to... I just had to bend over backwards because I did not know enough about programming to do things the right way. So I just had to... I had to do a lot of gymnastics to make things work in a way that looked correct, and it's not correct, but so I have to learn things the right way. But I have been learning a lot through Diminish. That's the main thing with programming, is that it just takes so long to fully grasp concepts. You can learn concepts, you can read about them and start to understand them, but the process of truly assimilating it into your database as a person is such a long process, and I'm on the ride. It'll be many years before I become a programmer that is fairly proficient, but the Godot game engine helps. People call it Godot. I think the developers call it Godot. But yeah, so for programming, I'm not a very good person to go to for advice at this point, but that's the biggest advice I can give, is just give it time. Give it time. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it, Desi. Happy says, Sonic is definitely the main reason I started drawing a lot more. There's something about it that makes you want to draw, isn't there? Especially like when you're just getting into fandom and you're a younger person on the internet. I don't know. There's something about it. It's so appealing. Kingslayer says, I gotta catch up here. I'm missing some stuff right up my alley. You mean like with Petscop and Diminish? Oh, I hope that this stuff can bring you joy. It certainly did for me. Petscop took me on this path, and I'm very glad for that. Cecilia Urborn says, that is lovely and inspiring for me to get into art and writing. I'm glad. That was a bit of a ramble. I'm glad if people can manage to find ways to to benefit from it. Cecilia says, I literally posted my literal first piece of fan art ever on the Discord a couple of days ago. Wow. That makes me... Oh, what an incredible life. What a time to be alive. Trey says, as a drummer, I've been looking for so much work and people to meet so I can get noticed in more local artist groups and grow my name into a bigger audience. My main goal is to also get down with being an audio engineer and mixer for other bands, musicians. Word. Best of luck. I don't know much about... I don't have much experience in that exact line of work. I've done a lot of gigging in the past, but mostly through school. So, I wish you all the best. It is a very fun and social line of work, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, I pronounce the A in Syria like we do for our day. Yeah, our day. Yeah, it is the same inflection. Shane says, I love that eureka moment with programming when you try something that just works out beautifully. Oh, exactly. There's nothing like it. I won't say that, but it's very nice. Yeah, the I Saw the Sign episode, okay. It's pronounced GIF. It's Godot. Yeah, I'm probably gonna forever be saying Godot/Godot. Because one of them is the way the developers pronounce it, and one of them is the correct way to pronounce the name Godot. But I think it's Godot because they call it the Godot robot. Because that's the mascot, so that's why it is the way it is. Yo, Spoopy, welcome, young Scratch. King Scratchy. How are you today? Desi says, I haven't made fan art since like 5th grade, but I might now that I found this. That would kill me. There have been many moments during these streams where I have seen fan art for the first time, and I have had to resuscitate myself before death takes me. So that might be you someday, someday soon, if you are of the want to pursue that. It doesn't matter their perceived quality. It all destroys me. It all destroys me. Rikov says, I've been with art for a while, which, coming from a line of talented artists, was rough. Assuming you mean in your family, yeah, I can imagine how that would cause confidence. It would be an interesting experience in terms of that. I decided to try Blender tutorials, to try a new medium, and it's been far, far kinder to my psyche. I also went down. I spent a week grinding Blender and learning how to use it and making some 3D models. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I haven't done any of it since, but currently playing around trying to make a 3D Apollo. Not expecting much, as I don't play much with sculpting. Yeah, I didn't actually try sculpting when I was learning Blender, but I'm having fun with it for now. That's what matters. That's what matters. You meant to say I've struggled with art. Yeah, got you. Trey Pavlik says artistry is definitely the most freewheeling style of work. You just need to have your craft down, and you have the ability to open the code for success. It's such a fluid and elusive style of work, and completely darn it. It's completely individualistic. That's not the word I was looking for, but that at least is toward what I want to say. It's completely custom to the person. And that's where I think there's a lot of art discourse that happens, because something that was the key for one person, they'll passionately espouse it as the tools to success. And those might be poison for another artist, and that's one of the hardest things about becoming an artist and improving as an artist and making it, is finding your key to success. And you need a lot of luck. BNB is right, you need a lot of luck. But one of the hardest things to do is being able to find your perfect way of setting yourself up the best for success. And getting good, as they say. The digital age is very interesting in that regard, in that it provides the most opportunity that we've ever seen for that, and some of them, and also more problems have arisen as a result. Nothing is simple. Okay, I think I'm ready to use this as the main side body thing. If you get my drift. Oh, Lord, what was that all about? It worked, I guess. No. No. Yes. Okay, so this is so that I can have a view of Apollo with their arm covering part of their body, and then a view of Apollo with their arm not there, so you can properly see what's going on. Oh no, Apollo! What have they done to you? This is another day where my focus isn't quite there. I don't know if I'll be able to, I might start the front-facing one. And then maybe try and organize some tennis footage. See how I'm feeling. But right now, I am dogging it. Haha. Yeah, Desi says, yeah, it's a lot of luck. I have to learn how to accept imperfection as an artist before I can really go anywhere. Yeah, and like that feeling whenever you see other artwork and you feel insignificant, if you experience that, which I don't know if I should say you should, but I think that that is one of the most normal parts of being a self-critical artist. And of course, that's one of the hardest things when you are self-critical, is being a balanced form of self-critical, is whenever you see art and you get that gut feeling like, I will never be this good, why am I not this good? I just hate myself because I'm not this good. What is wrong with me? Yeah, like there will always be those moments in some form. I've been happy to discover in the last few years, those feelings have greatly diminished. That's just the best word for the moment, I'm sorry. Those feelings are not nearly affecting me the way they used to. And now it's more of an inspiration, like a dim sort of appreciation for art that I feel like might be superior to mine, or that I'm envious of in some way. It doesn't feel like envy anymore, it just feels like raw appreciation of craft. And that's something that I haven't even noticed happening. It's happened very gradually, and now that I think about it, it's like, yay, I'm glad that I don't experience that negativity anymore. That helps a lot. That's one way to select everything. Apollo uses they, them. Indeed, they, them, and he, him. It's he, they, indeed. Wonder what would happen if they lost an arm, yeah. Like, an hour or two ago, I got a new idea about Apollo and the game, and it felt very good. It felt like an aha moment, and I can't wait until you all see it in practice. Very excited to try that out. I definitely need to start writing down an outline for it before I forget some of the key feelings that I'm having right now. Philosophy. Cecilia says, I'm going to tune out for a second, just leave the stream in the background, gonna finish up captions for 3. Nice. Good luck. Lucy, what's up? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Desi says it's especially hard-hitting because my GF is a really, really good artist, and I'm so effing proud of her, but at the same time wildly envious. Hope I can get there soon. Yeah, and there is such a moving and undulating and metamorphosizing target, because the destination might not be exactly what you feel like it is right now. And that's what happened with me, where, like, I'm at a point now where I'm not like this godlike, virtuosic artist, but I'm at a point where I'm satisfied with what I create basically every time, and I'm also at the point, like I said, where when I see other art, I don't feel devalued or insignificant, and that in itself is progress. That is a destination very worth achieving. So I hope you can get there too. Whatever that means for you. Celine says, oh no, now Apollo is that armless guy from Diminish 1. Please, just go on ahead. Don't mind me. Even though I am fabulous, even without my arm. Trey Pavlik says, that moment when people can compliment you for something that you thought was flawed is pure brain candy for me, which it allows myself to move on from a moment that I thought was subpar. That's actually a gift, Trey, because that's something that a lot of people deeply struggle with, and myself included, even now, although it was way worse in my past, where when you were showing people something or people see something of yours, and you feel unsatisfied or like there are things on your mind about it that are really gnawing at you, and people are still like, this is amazing, you're doing great, that's awesome, I like that, and you're able to take that at its intended value and the value that it should be taken at. That is actually, I would call a skill, because it's not easy to do that. And a lot of people aren't able to do that. And so I feel like if you're able to do that, that is an advantage. and that is commendable. And I'm really glad you're able to do that. Kingslayer says, funnily enough, I wanted to try art. I even started practicing a bit. I think I want to get good at it. Any tips? Yeah, just, it's the broad one that you're probably going to hear most, and that's just go and don't, like, just do it. Do it, 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 do it. And whenever you're doing it, do it analytically. Have something that you're working on. But it's also important, of course, to have times when you're just drawing for fun. That's one of the most important things to do whenever you're starting to feel burned out. Because it's really easy when you're grinding art to start hating it and then you lose the love. That's a bit of a redundant statement, but it's the same thing that's true of basically most disciplines that you can ever do in life, which is just do it and keep doing it. Do it a lot. And be ready to fail a lot. And be hungry. Very broad tips. I guess a tip I would suggest is, if you are really obsessed with something, do not be scared of drawing only that. Like, just drawing way too much of something that you're obsessed with. For me, those things are anatomy and water-themed images. And because I can just sit down and draw anatomy and water-themed images at any time and have fun, I improved as an artist, and I got to where I kind of am happy with. So that is more of probably a helpful tip, is just, if there is something that you think about a lot in your life, and that you love in your life, you're very passionate about, you're fixated on, then don't be afraid to draw it too much. There's no such thing as drawing a specific thing too often, because it will help you. It is improving your craft. So that is my answer for you. Lucy says, have you seen the Diminish OST album art you made? Yes. Yes, I really like that. Yeah. Even like the very first example you showed, before you started whittling with it, that one blew my mind. So, thank you for doing that. I loved that. And I'm glad you enjoyed the OST. Desi says, thanks for this advice, Sayri. It means very much coming from someone I look up to, / someone as skilled and dedicated as you. I don't know about those things, but God does it mean a lot. And I thank you for saying that. And I'm inordinately pleased that I could help. Trey says, I've been playing gigs for almost 3 years at many places, so I feel like that experience is allowing that to happen for me. Yeah, music is such an interesting thing where making it, the term like making it, is another moving target and undulating and metamorphosizing thing. But if you were at a place as a musician where, like, you're feeling amazing about what's happening, and you feel like you're accomplishing what you want, and you're having so much fun, and you're living the dream, that's when you've made it. And that sounds like you're having fun right now. I hope. Yeah, paid musicians are most likely the most confident types of artists that exist within today's realm. Some of my favorite people in the entire planet to hang out with are jazz musicians, man. Those cats. Those cats are with it. They're fun to talk to, they're fun to engage with, it's a fun energy to be a part of. And I miss it so much. Not just because of COVID, but because once I left school to pursue what I'm pursuing now, I started to be a part of that less, and it hurts because, God, that environment is amazing. Spoopy says, I've been drawing an absolute boatload of AI builds lately, so that's really satisfying to hear. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, it'll improve you. It'll make you better. And that sounds intriguing as well. Desi says, bro, you're definitely dedicated. I died like 3 times playing Hollow Knight and gave up. You have made and then played Diminish over and over. It was for a passion. It was for something that I was driven to do. And for that, there is nothing else I would have been rather doing, except that last recording session that you saw in Diminish 15, 16, and 17. I wanted to die. Cecilia Aragorn says, on that note, what are the death counts all legit? Basically, yeah. If they're not, I retract my statement. No, yeah, they're basically real. I only say basically because I think maybe once or twice they were accidentally reset, and I had to do guesswork in order to try and get it back to where it was. But on that note, yeah, I did die that many times. Yeah. Curse Calendar says, "Hey, how much did I miss? You missed exactly 60 minutes, apparently. Not terribly much. I've just been chatting, and I'm a bit tired again today, so my attention span isn't what it should be, but I'm just seeing how much I can get done of this. And then maybe I'm going to look at some tennis footage. The main thing is just chatting with everybody, because God, I love it. And boom, there you go. Kind of like Apollo. Oops. Nope, don't do that. Yeah, whoops. Stop it, it's so sensitive. Yeah, I've just been answering a few people's questions. Curse Calendar, the usual. I went on a bit of a spiel about improving at various disciplines, but mostly as just a generalist artist. Because that's the only thing I have experience with, is just trying to get good at too much at once. To mixed results. But I'm very, 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 very satisfied with my progress as a visual artist and as a writer in the last few years. And I'm hoping that it shows through Diminish. It is very nice to see my writing seems to have an impact on people. Oh, what are you doing? So sensitive, like I said. That hand still doesn't look very good to me. No, that's not good at all. Yeah, the fingers are not at a correct angle. Alright, I'm gonna catch up a bit. Kingslayer says, I'm not sure I completely get burnout. I'm not... Oh, you don't get burnout? You're not quite sure what it is? I've experienced it. It's when... like, you become... For a period of time, you might invest yourself so much into working on a specific thing or a range of things so often with such a high intensity, like every single day. Like for me, it was training art and game design for like 12 hours a day for a year and a half straight. This was in 2016 through 2017. And then for about a year and a half after that, until I discovered the Dragon Prince, I literally I physically could not do any of the things that I had been doing at that point, leading up to that point. Because my brain, it's like when you like break a bone or a muscle snaps, like an athlete when they overtrain or like they're in the middle of a game or a meet or something like that, and their hamstring just snaps. That's basically what happens with burnout, and then you physically can't use that part of you can't use your brain for that. It can last for a lifetime. Luckily, it seems that I have mostly made it out of that period of burnout. I need to be careful that I don't do it again, because it's scary, it's frustrating, it's depressing, and you start to wonder about yourself. You start to wonder if all of that you were doing was for nothing, and that maybe you didn't know what you truly wanted in life. It's a scary and awful thing to experience. But it's basically like if you break a bone in your brain, that's like what burnout is. And it's so imperceptible and so unquantifiable. Like when you snap a hamstring, you know immediately. But burnout is so less tangible. That makes it even more dangerous, and that's why it is such a problem for so many people. Trey Pavlik says, jazz musicians are so cracked with knowledge. I've talked with some local jazz drummers, and those guys have crazy knowledge and skill. Yeah, dude, soak it all in. Soak it in. Desi says, 60? Damn, it flies. It does. Yeah, it does, especially with somebody who rambles like I do. It's funny, because in person, when you know me in person, I never talk about myself. Ever. I am a listener in person. So that's one thing about these streams that is kind of fun, because I really enjoy... I only talk about myself, or I only talk about subjects that I'm passionate about in general, if I am absolutely positive that the listener is fully invested, and they want to hear what I'm saying. And so I don't usually talk about myself, because I'm not usually sure that that's the case. But this is an environment in which I am reasonably sure that people are here because they want to hear what I have to say, and I don't have this chance very often. And I am so happy to have the chance, and I'm enjoying it very much. And I hope it seems like you guys keep saying you are, but again, like I just always feel it merits being said that I hope it is the case, because I live to please. Which is why I don't often like to talk about myself, and this could be a circular conversation that I could say the same things over and over, but I will try and move on. Desi says, I love watching people analyze / talk about their craft, and learning from them even a little. Word, here. Celine says, find something you love to do and you'll do it enough to get good at it by pure accident. Yes, even if it's something questionable. Okay, no such thing as a bad or unhelpful channel to practice with. Agreed, actually, yes. Desi says, I watched the stream only to absorb your knowledge. Evil face, evil kitty face. Truly evil you are for feeling that way. Celine says, I became a fairly skilled writer after... Well, actually, I should be serious about that. That's fine by me. That's fine by me, Desi. If you're serious, like, I feel like you're being half joking, but if that is the reason, that's okay with me. And I should also say that I am not a beacon of knowledge. I'm only a beacon of relative knowledge and experience, and my exact experiences and worldviews. But if those help you, then that makes me happy. So I hope that that can help you. But I wouldn't say that I'm exactly an expert on anything, except being a weirdo. Celine says, I became a fairly skilled writer after years of ERP. Like, really, say what you will about the source, but it's something I enjoyed doing enough that I learned from it. I'm sorry that... you might have given me that... am I going to remember the word? Am I going to remember the word? Acronym! I did it! It really... I was scared for a moment. I knew it started with an A. I don't know if you gave me that acronym before, and I've forgotten already, in which case I'm sorry. But you might have to explain that to me again, if you're comfortable, so that I can fully appreciate your point. Cecilia Aragorn says, we're consuming the soul of your stream content. Oh, eat it up. It's delicious. Oh, I'm delicious. Desi says, keyboard smash. Admittedly, same, Celine. I at least understand more about characters now. Yeah. It's a lot more helpful than people give it credit for. Yes. A lot of things are. Most things are. Can I get a high five, please? Spoopy says, I'm a lot better with designing and understanding characters than actually writing. That's fair. That's fair. I feel like character design and like creating characters and creating people, that's how I see it, is creating people, not characters. That is an amazing entryway into becoming a writer, and I'm pleased that modern culture is giving people that gateway through fandom and through the creation of original characters for whatever it may be, because it's fun. First and foremost, it's beautiful. It has saved my life many times. Desi says, now, making a plot on my own, that is another story. Truly another story. Desi says, my character design flaw is that every time I draw them, they look like different people. Go! Oh, the relatableness. Oh my god. That was me for a long time. I was thinking about that yesterday, how I was drawing Apollo, and I was marveling at my ability to actually keep them on model, because that is something that I was never able to do. And I still struggle with it, with the character that inspired Apollo. Especially because that was the character that made me realize that I have no idea how to draw a more harsh-looking wolf face facing front. So when it comes to that, yeah, I absolutely cannot do it the same way twice in a row. Spoopy says, I can do world-building characters and all that, and the one thing I can't do is write for the life of me. It's more difficult than it might seem. Writing, I mean, like, of course, you can sit down and write things. I mean, like, writing itself is not like the first time you do a backflip. Like, it's... even though backflips are not the hardest thing to do in the world, most people can do a backflip. I was about to sound very ableist for a second. I struggle with that sometimes, but it is still an example that holds its point. Like, sitting down and writing something is easier than, like, the first time you're trying to land a backflip. But becoming a truly gifted, or becoming gifted, it sounds like an interesting conflation of words. Becoming a truly skilled writer is a very different story, and again, it falls into many different walks of artistry, where the experience of becoming your best writer is so imperceptible at times, and it's so hard to nail down and find your way. And I'm so lucky that I was able to find my way about 2 years ago, and quickly. When you're able to make your breakthrough, it happens pretty fast, and there can be many growing pains, because everything that I wanted as a writer before that breakthrough went straight out the window. Everything that I was planning as a writer, all of my most passionate worlds, like the Sonic fan world that I was building for 12 years, it was my entire life up to that point, completely invalid once I made my breakthrough as a writer. But now, my fan story that I'm writing for Sonic now is not even 3 ballparks, within 3 ballparks of the quality of writing that that what I was doing before that. So you have to, like, in that regard, you have to be prepared to take losses. Like, you might have to take losses in terms of things that were brewing in you before that, like, but it doesn't have to be like that. It was just that way for me. When I made my breakthrough, the things that I was interested in as a writer completely changed. My sensibilities of art completely changed once I made my writing breakthrough. I never ever would have made something like Diminish before that breakthrough. But now I did, and my quality as a writer is so different than it was before, and I'm glad that it all happened the way it did. And I have one person mostly to thank for all of that, and God, I can never thank them enough. Celine says, first you draw a circle, then you dot the I's, add a great big smile, and presto, it's Apollo! Thank you for that reference. Kingslayer says, I see. So it's basically obsession to the point of being unable to do it. It's a broad way, like, it's not just the obsession. Like, you can be obsessed with something and not burn out. Because I'm definitely immensely hyperfixated with water all the time, and like that in itself doesn't cause me burnout. It's because it doesn't have to just be obsession. Like, regular people just in regular work environments get burnt out constantly, like 9-to-5 jobs, like menial work. Like, those people burn out on the regular. So it's when you invest yourself into something so much and work yourself into the ground and then keep going for so long that your brain cannot do it anymore, and it breaks. Your brain breaks. That's what burnout is. It's your brain breaking due to overwork. Or overwork is the most common cause, I'd say. But it's just it's a form of just exceeding your body's capacity. You're like exceeding the human ability to maintain a certain to maintain something. Sorry. Happy says, something I almost forgot is that Apollo climbs for like 90% of the series. Yeah, they spend 90% of the series jumping off of a wall. And they're very upset about their physical ability. And I mentioned ableism earlier. That might come up in the future for Diminish. Stay tuned. Cecilia says, beautiful art as always. Happy. Oh, did they post something new? Let us take a break here, like I've been taking this entire time. And see what that might be about. Oh! Apollo climb! He climbing. That's adorable. Oh, I love the look on their face. Oh. I have to recall your Twitter. Beautiful. Sorry guys, I'm just not looking at chat for a moment while I try and recall what Happy's name is on Twitter. They're probably telling me right now. Why would I not use them, possibly? Okay, they haven't said it yet, okay. Okay, back to finding it myself. S for sprinkles. That's correct, right? Nope, that's not gonna do it. That's fine. Yeah, SFS, yep, that's it, okay. Alright, back to chat. Once I check Twitter for a second and see what people have been doing. Alright, just liking things, that's fine. Oh, I'm gonna check the Bandcamp. Let's see if there's anything new to see there. Nope, and that's totally fine. The initial burst was already far exceeded what I was expecting for it. It's just unbelievable what people are doing for me. Alright, now back to chat. They're like a Pokemon. Oh, I see, okay. Now I see what that, I, again, am forgetting it. It starts with an A. Acronym. How am I that? It's like a literal mental block. Like, there's a wall standing between my brain and that word. It's unbelievable. I guess the brain can only hold so much information, and it just refuses to keep that information in, that specific word. Electronic robot presentation. Yeah, I see the real acronym now, okay. And I get how that could absolutely improve your creative abilities, especially as a writer. Rakov says, I started a writing project on a whim in high school, and 6 or so years later, it's phenomenal going back and looking at the old Word file draft it started as, and how the media I consume made it better. Yeah, nice. That's a cool thing. I should look up my Sonic fanfiction that I released on fanfiction.net when I was 14. I remember when I was like 18 or so, I read it back and I was like, I was so good and smart! I can just remember how I wrote it now, and the things that I wrote about, and I cringe at this point. That would be fun to read. Rakov continues saying, and how the writing has looped back and genuinely made me better. Yeah. Celine, yeah. You and a partner in chat. Okay. Got you. Desi says, I think I'm definitely kind of like that. I treasure what I have now too closely, and it's almost boxed me in. That's an interesting wording, yeah, and I think that's a very relevant way to look at it, where it can feel like, at times, the things that you were most passionate about, and that was, like, the easiest... it was like, whenever you think about or do that thing, that's, like, the only thing in your life that's effortless, the only thing that makes sense. Whenever that starts to feel unsafe, and, like, the thing that's starting to cause you pain, that is one of the scariest things you can experience. And that's another reason why that mode of burnout is so rough. And that's what I went through. And yeah, I'm sure I'm still experiencing it to some degree. There are moments where I'm working on Project Zadia specifically, and I'm feeling all the same stuff. So it's definitely still existing for me. Lucy says, dialogue is hard, but so is plot, characterization, and world building. Yeah, it's not as easy as people make it seem. But it is also accessible, and you can do it. Celine says, my point was, like, to say what you will about doing it. There definitely were personally ulterior reasons for getting into that, but hey, as an accidental side effect, I wrote enough to get good at it. Yeah, and now I'm a writer somehow. And it shows. The way that you write just in casual conversation is kind of beautiful. You have beautiful prose. And I would love to see things that you create. Curse Calendar says, I am currently drinking water. Woo! Desi says, good job, Calendar, yeah. Oh, Desi asks what pronoun I use. I mainly go by he, him, although any pronoun is fine by me. Celine says, climbing with them big old paubs. Yeah, those giant... I like the way you draw, that you interpret Apollo's hands. It's very distinct. I can instantly tell it's your art by the way that you draw Apollo's hands. And the hind paws are also very cute. Desi says, I understand my GF and my roleplays are gonna have to stop eventually, but I don't want to think about it because it's terrifying. I mean, I don't have experience with that, so I won't give, like, any sort of advice-based response to that, but... I mean, if you believe that it is going to stop for a logical reason that resonates with you, then I won't argue with it at all. But you say, I poured 3 years of my life into them, even if no one cares about us, and the thought of that ending, yeah. And what I want to say is, does it have to? And I mean, of course, someday we're probably going to die, and it might end then, but... but if that becomes, like, the thing that you want to adapt into, like, the art that you want to publish, then it will outlive you, so... That's all I have to say. But again, that's only if it is relevant to you. Like, if that is a God no for you, then that's fine. Disregard me. As you should most times. Why are you all here listening to me? Are you mad? What is wrong with you? Sorry, that I shouldn't even say stuff like that jokingly. Sorry. I think that was one of my... I started yawning and then I didn't actually finish it, but I realized that I don't know if I've really yawned on stream very much since I've started doing this. It's coming up on a week since the fateful release of Diminish 17, truly, truly, truly changing my entire life. And it's not like I've become a superstar or like a super rich person as a result, but I think you all probably know where I'm coming from when I say that. It's kind of made all my dreams come true. Good for grip, indeed. Dizzy says, actually, it's where most of my creative drive comes from, so it's very applicable. Well then, yeah. I'd say don't ever truly close the door. If you feel that passionate about it, that thing specifically, and you continue to, you find, like, as time passes, it's not diminishing. God, I don't... It's a good word, okay? It's a good word. If you find that as time goes by, it's as important to you as it ever was, don't ever close the door. Let it be there. No, you're not distracting me at all. This is why I'm here. Like, the stuff, like this stuff, is just an excuse to be here. I mean that. It's just an excuse to talk to you all. And I don't even really know if I feel like starting the front-facing one. This is a decent amount of progress. This is what Apollo looks like from the side. Like a very slight oblique sideways. There you go. Maybe I should draw them with their hair down. Lucy says, Ohio! Indeed. Correct. I assume that you saw that through the band camp. In Ohio, indeed. Scott the Was. I will try and do a rough sketch of Apollo facing front, because why not? Because why not? Apollo looks best sideways? I agree. It's probably because I only know how to draw a wolf face, like a very sharp wolf face from the side. Desi says, oh god, I live in Ohio, I hate Ohio. Mixed feelings about Ohio here. You know, the rightful stereotyping, yeah, the things that we live around that causes the rightful stereotyping of this area of the Midwest, yeah, that stuff is, yeah. But I was very, 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 very lucky to grow up in a region where, for one thing, the tricking scene, the acrobatic sport that I do, the tricking scene here is world class. Several of the best trickers on the entire planet live less than an hour away from me, and we trained together all the time. And because of that, I became an elite tricker. So for that reason, I love Ohio. Another reason is because the jazz scene around this area is amazing. Love Ohio for that as well. Also, got to, when I was doing a brief stint where I was getting into Super Smash Bros. Melee competitively, the people around here I very much enjoyed hanging out with. I also liked Northeast Ohio for that reason, so... I've been very lucky for the specific things that I'm interested in. My region has delivered for me, so... I don't share the hatred for Ohio that most people do, but that's specifically just because I'm lucky with my lot in Ohio. Hey all, Will here, and welcome back to another Let's Play. Happy says, front-facing is going to be the most scariest thing to draw. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. I didn't mean to say that in any sort of mocking way. It's going to be the most scariest thing to draw for certain characters, especially when it's on... For an accurate ref sheet, for one, yeah. I actually, for the character that inspired Apollo, I, actually used the 3D model that I, boot-camped Blender and made. I used that model to draw the ref sheet because that was like the only way that I knew that I was doing what I thought I was doing, was staying on model with drawing them facing front. Celine says, I swear to God I wrote The Afflicted before COVID and that's like coincidental. Dizzy says, I had to leave my GF/home for Ohio, and all that's here is corn in the cold. Yeah, and of course that would make it more awful for you when you had to leave something that you love to be here. Of course that's gonna suck. I'm sorry to hear that. Happy says, did I hear Melee? Indeed you did. And I'm also very fortunate to have a very good friend who I met through speedrunning that game I was talking about earlier, because he actually took the world record from me without me realizing it, and then when I realized, and I saw that it was a Super Smash Bros. Melee top player that I've been respecting for years, I was like, okay, I'm coming back. And then I ended up doing a lot with the game, and developing a friendship with Red from MDVA. Former world number 53. What a wonderful friend he is. He's probably streaming right now, actually, doing Super Mario 64 speedrunning races with Chillin' Dude. Love Red very much. So good to me. Cecilia's finally back. Welcome back. You came back to a little Let's Play. Yes. I'm Let's Playing Clip Studio Paint. King Ozzo, welcome! Says hopping in for a little bit because my friend is busy. Hey yo, King Ozzo, how are you doing? Good to see you. Did you ever say the game was? The game is River City Ransom EX for the Game Boy Advance. River City Ransom for the NES was one of, if not the, first video games I ever played. It is a side-scrolling 2.5D beat-em-up with RPG elements, and it is a reason for many of the things that I do as an artist today, with how it bolstered my creativity and affected the way I think about game design and the things that I want in a video game. So River City Ransom EX is the Game Boy Advance port of that game, and I was also fortunate enough to commentate River City Ransom NES at AGDQ 2021. Another few amazing people that I was able to meet through speedrunning are the former world record holder Yelsrake for that game, and the current world record holder, who I was talking about earlier, Will Bobsled. They raced that game together at HDQ 2021, and I commentated it, and that was my first experience with participating in at a GDQ event, at any sort of speedrunning marathon at all. What a godsend. It's been an exciting time of my life. So many things have been happening. So many things have been happening for me. It's been a lot. It's been... I still... A lot of it hasn't even hit me yet. Like, God. But if you guys are interested, I can link the video for that. So it's funny, I wondered how many people, if they were watching AGDQ and happened to be watching that run, would hear my voice, and they would have happened to have already watched Diminish, and they would be like, wait a minute, I got one person on Twitter say it. One person on Twitter recognized me. And that was before Nightmare Masterclass, or no, they probably got into it through Nightmare Masterclass, if I had to guess. I'm not sure, actually. I'd have to go back and see our interaction where they brought that up to me, but that was before Diminish 17, I think. I don't know. The point is, they were already a fan of Diminish when they saw a friend watching this run, and I will link it. Kirby drawing speedrun. Here it is. This is the speedrun that I commentated at AGDQ 2021. Cecilia, that actually sounds so cool. I have to get into it later. I don't know if you mean watching the race or playing the game. I do encourage, if any of you are interested in speedrunning, and you're looking for an easy, non-stressful entry-level game to start with, River City Ransom EX is an amazing bet. Because it's virtually impossible for the game to end your run with something super egregious like a death. Like, there are things that will slow you down, but basically nothing in the any percent easiest mode, no cheats for category. Nothing in that category can just straight up demolish you. And so it's a satisfying and easy way to get your feet wet as a speedrunner. Petition to make Will see, the thing is, the one of the people who participated in the race that I was commentating is named Will, and I did not name Will after that person. It sure is a small world indeed. But yeah, Will Bobsled is the world record holder of River City Ransom for the NES. His name is Will. Yeah. King also says, I love watching speedruns. Haven't checked out any recently, though. Might check some out. Yeah. Well, if you watch that one, then you will be checking one out. Cecilia says, gotta watch that, then I'll put that on the docket. Both watching races and playing the game. Yeah, if you are truly interested, then reach out to me and I need to make a guide for River City Ransom EX. I've been putting that off for months now. I have to make a guide. But yeah, I've got to get some resources together for people who are interested. Oh, you sent the captions for 3. Awesome. I'll put that in whenever I can. King Ozo says, or Cecilia says to King Ozo, I say, everyone in this community is kind of one person. We are all together. We are Will and Teddy and Apollo and Justin. King Ozo says, I was genuinely surprised by the sheer massive amount of fandom and interest overlaps. It's beautiful when that happens. It's so much fun! Will Bobsled achievements. Named Will. Absolutely gonna reach out to me for that? Awesome. That would be so cool if you found a speedrun that you enjoy. Shane says, I've actually slowly been catching up on the SGDQ and AGDQ run for this year. I wonder if I eventually would have stumbled across that on my own. Oh, that kind of makes me sad, because that moment would have been such a WTF moment. God. King Ozo says, can you confirm or deny the rumors going around that you are Pete Bob on the Discord? I will deny that one, okay? That's one person out of, what, 260 now, so I'll deny that one. Leave Pete Bob alone. I saw that Seraphic Physique said that. Leave Pete Bob alone, okay? Come on, guys. Poor Pete Bob. Okay, I'm gonna try my hand at this front-facing muzzle boy. Let's see what I have in me. I'm very scared. Not very hopeful. See, but they have such a strong jawline, it's like... if I give them definition up here, does that... Ugh, it's just so hard! How do you do this? How do you do this and make it look like how it looks in your head? But look, this is so much lower already. This is already really different than how it's supposed to look. The eyes need to be higher. It's nice having this on the side to line up the heights and everything, but How do you do this, dude? It's impossible, dude. It's not possible. Only 259 to go. Don't kick Pete Bob. What is people's problem with Pete Bob? What's wrong with Pete Bob? Trust me, I'm Will's brother Bill. From the famous Quentin Tarantino films, Kill Bill. Turns out Will lost the brother Bill before Teddy. Dealing with a lot of loss. Cecilia Aragorn says, is the end goal to only have the creator in the Discord then? Who just kick everyone confirmed to not be Saria. That's the end game. Fine, whatever. Desi says, front facing is just V. Just V. Just V. For Pointy Snout Man. It's the jawline, though. It's like, what do you want from... maybe? That triggered something in my head. That could be a maybe. That looks something maybe like it. The thing that sucks now is that as soon as I do this, it's gonna be so asymmetrical. I had a feeling that was going to be the ending of that beat for a moment. That kind of seems like a shape that I don't want to be violently violent over. Forgot to draw their eyelids. Mouth. The Diminish Battle Royale. Final boss, front-facing snout. Saria will prevail. Will he? King Ozzo says you can cheat and give them an up tilt or down tilt. What are we talking about? But I appreciate the reference to up tilts and down tilts, especially if they're foxes and falcos. Like, they're glorious. Oh. 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 I haven't done this in so long. If I do it on this side, I don't know. Oh. Yeah, that's a bit of a hamstring problem. You won't even be able to see it because I'm doing it high enough that it's going to go out of frame. Yeah, and yeah. Yeah, that just looks awful. Oh, yeah, that's the side I should have been doing it on. Let's try this again. Again, I should be careful of my hamstring here. What? I don't have much room here. Like, I could try stretching myself out. I have this here. Why don't I use this to stretch myself out? Alright, that's probably the best I got right now. Hopefully you could see some of that. Absolute nonsense. Actually, hopefully you couldn't see any of that, because that was all horrible. I could try making the snout face downward, but I'm trying to keep their pose exactly the same. Facing the side, facing the front. And their snout is not facing downward when they're facing the side. I want to try and have it accurate across all of them. You do some challenge runs, Kingslayer? Interesting. Which ones do you do? King Ozzo says, I have literally zero experience with modeling, but I'm absolutely committed to learning Blender and 3D animation just to make a default Dancing Apollo. I will not stop you. Lots of people responding to that. Indeed. Pete Bob doesn't have a player role, he's sus. Please More Cats says, sauce? No, that's, Please More Cats doesn't say that. I just suddenly, interrupted my own train of thought so I could say sauce, 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 sauce. Please More Cats says Pete Bob is a false pro- They didn't even say anything, did they? They can't be a false prophet if they haven't prophesized anything. BNB says destroy the child, corrupt them all. I don't know what the context is for this, but gotta say, I agree. Destroy every. Chris Calendar says, Pete Bob committed tax fraud. No, that was Ludwig. Yeah, Cecilia says we're back to Ludwig again. Pete Bob did receive a player role. God, y'all are so hard on frickin' Pete Bob. Cecilia says, also Syria, I'd just like to voice this out to you. In my headcanon, I call the bird physical proof that Apollo isn't always alone. I feel it would be quite delightful to see the bird follow us along our journey. Quite delightful. Thank you for providing me that. Thank you for telling me. Call us when you can wave dash, Syria. I can sometimes slide on a hard court in tennis. That's kind of like wave dashing. Like, you know, like that was a very slight slide. These poor socks. These socks are nice. Anyway. Fruptil and Downtown was referring to. Oh! I thought you were making Smash references. All of that was for nothing! Ah! The agony of being alive. That is what it's all about. That is the embodiment of agony and torture and suffering. Sauce, sauce. Sayria YTP. Live YTP. It's from Alex Jones. Why? Why quote that man? Why? Apollo isn't alone, they have will. That's what all the water from episode 17 is gonna do. God. What if everyone in the Diminish world is already gay? Then there would be no turning gay. Would there? Oh, what am I doing? I'm way carried away there. Before I actually saw what was going on. Yeah. Their collarbone and everything is very high up. Their shoulders are very high. Something's sus here. I am dreading flipping the canvas to see how horribly asymmetrical this is. Catching up here. That's just canon. Celine says, exchange glances among our system. Desi says, we laugh to avoid screaming in range. That's valid. That's valid. Don't want to argue with that. Celine says, we have like 4 different orientations in here, but none of them are what I'd call straight. So there could be some truth to this theory. Cecilia says, they sealed it up very securely, sent it to the law offices of law, and thereby you signed it into law. Yes. I am the canonicizer. The canonicizer. I loaded it into the canonicizer. Celine says, front-facing Apollo looks so unamused with your silly antics. Yeah, I do want to adjust that. Because I agree. I very much agree. Front-facing Apollo has so much tension built up in his shoulders, I understand it, but boy needs a break. Yeah, it's not something that you see as much. Like, I could be representing it inaccurately on the front-facing version, because I've never really drawn him facing fully front. But I have imagined them just being like this in their, like, monster-like anatomy, so... Someone needs to give that Olympian a massage! A good shoulder rub because they're so tense, they've been through so much, and a good belly rub because they like belly rubs. This is a resonant sentence. Front-facing Apollo has such a cute face. Yeah, I'm not too dissatisfied with how it's come out thus far. This could change. But thank you. Yep, got it. Oh, I didn't actually flip the canvas. Yeah, I could tell that the shoulder stuff was really weird. It looks like they're kind of turned slightly. That always happens. I could have just copied half of them and flipped it, but I don't like to do that. I want to keep doing what I'm uncomfortable with so I can try and improve at it. Apollo's belly looks like a stick indeed. King also says, also random question but serious song. Have you ever done or considered doing professional dancing / breakdancing? It seems like something you'd be into. Looks pretty similar to tricking. I definitely have wanted to learn b-boying / breakdancing for many years. I've been meaning to do it alongside tricking, but I just have never gotten started. I've tried to learn a windmill and a flare many times, a few signature moves in b-boying. It's never gone well for me. I have a big block with it, and of course they're not easy to learn. But I know I can. It's just I haven't broken the code yet. So yeah, I definitely have an interest, especially in b-boying, at least to a certain degree. I don't know if I'd want to really grind it, but something I want to do for fun and to improve my strength and wellness and give myself another thing, another way to exercise. And Symmetry? Never heard of her. That's not the worst thing in the world. Probably won't destroy your body as much. Yeah, hopefully not. Front-facing Apollo looks very wide compared to side Apollo. Yeah. Well, I haven't drawn the midsection yet. That'll change things, I'm sure. Diag Apollo. Maybe you could give him slightly more concave cheekbones. Yeah, that's usually what I end up doing. Like around this area, like that. But I don't want to really put but you probably mean like in this area, like in the line work here, like something like that. You say concave. Maybe you meant this way. Yeah, you probably meant the other way. I'll think about it later. God. I'm really not good at drawing any pose that's not engaged in some sort of motion. Like poses like this that are just purely at rest, not doing anything, I stink at. At least facing front. Slide into my DMs, Paulo. Yeah, I'd be interested in giving b-boying more of a go. Especially once COVID is over, because there's some incredibly amazing b-boys, as well as, like, the people that train with the amazing trickers that I know. There are also insanely good b-boys. So I have access to great training partners. Paulo's ears kind of look like hair buns or poofy pigtails from this angle. Yeah, I have no idea how to draw the ears that I want facing this angle. The ears are one of my biggest problems that I just can't figure out. Infinity Train and Over the Garden Wall are really good if you've watched Gravity Falls. I've heard a lot of great things about Infinity Train. I could have them hunched a little bit, or like not hunched, but like their shoulders could be tilted a little bit, because maybe one of the reasons that it looks unnatural when a person is truly symmetrical is because no one is ever like that. No one can ever stand truly symmetrical. I guess they can, but it's just not something that they do. Yeah, so don't be surprised if this does not end up being the sketch that I actually used for the front-facing Apollo. This could be a scrap, but at least I'm practicing. It won't be a complete waste of time, especially not now that I'm doing it here. That's what makes this so freaking amazing. No, you're so sensitive. there's always something horribly wrong every time I swap the canvas, rotate it. I guess not horribly, but enough to make it very unsettling and disappointing. We'll see. The big tell will be what I think of it when I leave it for a while and then come back. That will be when we truly know how I feel about it. But you can see something here I'm very uncomfortable with. I've never gotten the hang of drawing this type of thing. You're watching me work through that. Hopefully that helps somehow. Them spreading. Memento Mori. Maybe thinner and more inward pointing ears. Inward? Inward as in that way or that way? Sorry. Time you enjoy spending is never wasted. Someone probably, maybe you. Dizzy Dizzy says that's what I used to justify 90% of my time spent. Your second's gonna keep ticking down no matter what you do. Best not to dwell on time wasted, but how you'll use your time remaining. That's my first time trying to impersonate Mark. I don't really know how to get his subtle intricacies. That's a subtle impression to do. You need to do what you want to do. With your time. It's your time. What are you going to do with your time? Unis. Honest. If. The way the back legs are straight up behind the knees like the background. Yeah. Digitogrid is interesting, especially when it's that deep of a digitogrid with the heels that elongated. It's interesting to try and reference it in different angles of 3D space. I love their midsection. The emaciated stomach and bony pelvis look fantastic. Thank you. That is definitely a look that I've been trying to nail with the other character. But the other character is slowly and intensely turning into more of a grotesque true monster. And I wanted to use more appealing shapes with Apollo that I originally was using for the other character. While still being a sort of shocking silhouette. Apollo is still sort of a shocking figure. What am I doing? That's not the way it goes. Your thumb is here, you dingus. You dingus. Absolute dingus. Oh god, whatever. Stop it. Stop it. Bony boy. What the heck is going on here? Something's not right. This is wigging me out. Something's not right here. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? That? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know, dude. Yes, I'm sounding very much like Will right now. What is this nonsense? So off-center. Gotta increase that thigh gap, I guess. Yeah, that's... something's... Why is it so off-center? He says as he's defining things that are not related to the problem. I feel like it's deep. It's getting kind of close, but at the same time, there's something really messed up with how this is aligning over here. I don't think his range is supposed to be this wide, is the thing. I think he is supposed to have his legs. Here, I'll save this version. I'll try the legs a slightly different way here. Maybe this will highlight the problem for me too. What is happening? Where does it root? Where does the problem start? What is throwing me off so much? I can tell already. Something. Alright, Spoopy, have a great one. It was great to have you here. I'm so glad you guys like these streams. Everyone's favorite long boy. Love the skinny weird look of him, all the bones jutting out. Love drawing myself like that and seeing it on a funky boy like Apollo. Now I'm seeing the reactions to Markiplier. I actually am farther behind than I thought. And more toward the middle of her head. Okay, I'll try that with the ears. Thank you, Dizzy Dizzy. Yeah, my voice does things sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't cooperate with me, but sometimes, oh my. Not really right now. It's not really working right now. There are times in which I can bring it out. But right now, it's not sounding very natural. Very shallow. It's all about finding that vocal fry. All about the vocal fry, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. But there's no substance behind it right now. Yo, Misty Seat, welcome. Sorry it took me so long to acknowledge you. Sorry, that was also probably a loud voice. Yes, this is happening. I'm sorry. Curse Calendar has disabled water once again. Screw you. Water is so amazing. Kingslayer, am I kind of experimenting with Apollo here? What I'm doing is trying to get them to look like they look in my head. But for some reason, drawing characters facing front, especially monster-like characters like Apollo, is just my Achilles heel. I've never done it the way I want. And so all my adjustments I'm doing are, for one thing, I'm trying to do it right, because I'm struggling with symmetry here. But I'm also trying to get the character to look how they look in my head. And I'm so bad at doing that with monster characters. See, what is... Am I just freaking out about that for no reason? Very possible. It'll probably help more if I put them in the true center of the canvas. And I do need to try the ears suggestion. Getting there. No. Dude, get in the center of the canvas, bro. That was the wrong way, wasn't it? There we go. And the shimmy, 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 and the shimmy. So it's not that off. Okay, so I could adjust. That's what I needed to do from the very beginning. Put them in true center. Alright, let's try out the ears here. Damn, Apollo, your calves. Yeah, their legs, they didn't lose that much in their legs. I think you were onto something with this. Yes, indeed. Yes, that's it. That is it. That is it. Let's see how symmetrical I was. It's always just a little bit off, but it's enough to be really upsetting. And it's not just symmetry, it's like making sure it's facing straight front. That's impossible. God dang it, dude. Making sure that objects that are supposed to have the same shape on both sides actually have the same shape. So many factors. I've decided to give them their little hair floofies on both sides of their head. Give them some more volume. It's something that you just don't know with every other view that you have of Apollo. See? Yeah, it's like their entire body. Let me try this. I think maybe their entire body is tilted slightly this way. They're off balance. How about that? Just give me this. kind of acceptable. It kind of looks like they're standing kind of like that. Okay, this is a start. This is a start. Who was it that gave me the suggestion on the ears? Yeah, Desi, that's what I thought. Yep, he did look a little mousy. This is much more canine. That's what I want. Thank you so much. Looking at the muscle anatomy on this ref, it's reminding me that dog legs are half elongated feet. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing about these leg designs that I'm really drawn to, and the character that Apollo is based on has this as well. Digitigrade heels are not supposed to be this elongated. They're not supposed to be that long. And if you see Anne's fan art of Apollo, what's her Spooshy's fan art of Apollo, especially the first one that she did, you can see more traditional or more realistic digitigrade where like the heels are like right there. But these are super long, and I think my character that he's based off of, the heels are like ridiculously long. I think this is a start. That's a more... Yes, that is a more correct neck angle. Yes, 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 yes. Ding, 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 ding. And that's the other thing. When you're drawing from the front, if you want to create the correct neck angle from the side, you just do angles like that. Yeah, like it's jutting forward, so I just do that. But when it's facing the front, you have to suggest these things purely through lines like this. Like... It's so much more abstract in 3D space. God. I'm learning. Okay, let me give them some eyes finally. Instead of what they have had up to this point. And now it doesn't look right. Beautiful. Maybe I'll just leave their eyes blank for now. God dang it. Let's try something. That's closer, but it's still not what I want. That's at least a start. This is so hard. I can already tell. All these years of grinding this, and I still just cannot figure out how to draw this. I'm having a moment right now of an artist in despair. I know it doesn't look horrible, it's just nothing like how I want it to look. Oh, I just figured out the hands though. That was purely by accident. Nice. So it's more translating than experimenting. Exactly, Kingslayer. That's a great way to put it. Sorry for getting to that so late. I've not checked out Jamie Saber yet. I'm sorry if that's incorrect pronunciation. And I also apologize for not checking it out yet. Apologize too much. I'm amazing at apologizing, but there you go. But I do it too much. Apollo is a very jumpy, very parkoury boy. Makes sense he'd retain mass in those muscles. He's still using them. By contrast, we haven't seen him like bench a lot, so... Expand floof. Apollo can only bench 5 pounds, but he can do 60 cartwheels. Without hands, because that's the only way he can do it. He can't support his own weight. Makes it ironic a bit that he can only hit with his hands. Well, I won't say anything. That's too late. I've already spoiled it. He's gonna be a kicky boy. Why not? Apollo struggles with even the tiniest dumbbells, but he can leap tall buildings in a single bound. Indeed. His hands have the weight behind them like a sledgehammer. Yeah, that's part of it. It's just pure frickin' mass. Celine says, is that why the punching power is somewhat underwhelming so far as like situations where that's ever actually been useful or the correct solution? It's an interesting thought. If they could kickbox, though, ooh. Seltzer is just water with bubbles. Capoeira! Indeed. Capoeira. A+ boopable snoot. Seems like somebody took away... Where was that? His favorite chew toy! Oh, I need water. I'm probably going to end fairly soon. I wasn't intending to go this long. I haven't even looked at tennis clips. That's fine, because that is not Diminish related at all. Would gently place treat on it and have them wait for it, yeah. I know something I could try with that. I'll save this version and then I'll try something else with the snoot. Thought he kind of looked focused or serious, yeah. Is Apollo gendered at all? Just assume Apollo was male due to the name. They're a he-they. He-they, so... gendering that occurs to them is usually masculine, but... if all else fails, put them in a T-pose. I'd mess that up too. Apollo is he-them specifically and can be referred to as either. Cecilia, I was hearing some fuffle about he-they being different from he-him and they-them. Might be pulling that out of nowhere, though. I'm not sure. Celine, we tend to stick to they exclusively for pronouns, but the he part is valid for they're such a good boy purposes. You're amazing at apologizing. I am. That is You figured out Diminish. I always assumed it was a combination of both. Yeah, I've always seen it that way too, like, both apply fully. Yeah, Apollo kick. A lot like Arde really being down to a faithful and loyal knight. Apollo's gonna start using actual karate, at least kicking skills, instead of just being a boxer with a belt. You'll see. I thought my friend would be back by now and I'd have... Yeah, hopefully that's okay. Yeah, hopefully everything was okay with that. Yeah. So here's what I'm gonna try. It's a different style, I suppose. They're definitely leaning one way. Boom! Boom, baby! Boom, baby! Nailed it! And but look at their thighs. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. It only took me 6 years to make a basic standing, just doing nothing. And I still haven't gotten the head right yet. Okay, so you can see there's more definition over here on their neck, leading up over here. God, it's just... How are you supposed to get this to look a way that you like? I know that's off kilter. It can't be that simple. Can it? Can it? Can it be? Can it be? Does have a thick neck indeed. Oh, that is such a tease. That's not how it looked. Stop being microscopically off, but in a very noticeable way. So annoying. They do have a very thick neck. I did see that comment. I might sleep on that. That looks kind of how it looks in my head. That's what matters. Curse Calendar says, so I need to go to bed. Good night, everyone. Good luck on Front Palos area. Thank you so much. God knows I freaking need it. But this looks to be a step, maybe. Okay. Let me catch up. Ending fairly soon, yeah. I need to give my mind and brain a break, my eyes a break. I might watch a little bit of the tennis clips before I head off. Nothing serious, just that his sister was getting mad at him for using too much internet. Okay, I'm glad that it's not super serious, yeah. Desi says, my first Diminish fan art, and it's an MS Paint front-facing Apollo. Show me how it's done! Show me how it's done! I'm looking. Show me how it's done! Nice. The hind paws look excellent. Oh, nice. You nailed the hair in the back. I love it. You want me to share this on stream? Oh yeah, look at the boy. Slow drawing gang, that's me. Apollo's slowly shuffling toward us. Thank you, Desi. The Apollo vibe check. Today's soup of the day is you! Kingslayer says, heads seem to be super complex. I'm not surprised if it's taking a bit to click. Yeah, especially this very specific type of head shape. King Nazo thinks it's definitely coming together. Thank you. Such a thick neck. Dare I try the eyes? Got 20 seconds behind. Share if you want. Alright, do you have a Twitter? That I can promote for you. Hey, that's kind of like Apollo. Sometimes it's not an utter disaster. Imagine that. Dawn Soda 789. Get over here. Thank you so much for the fan art. I can't believe my life has led me to this moment where this is happening right now. I say things like this very often this week, but... And I mean it, of course, in the best possible freaking way that that can be possibly meant. Oh, what are you doing, hair? Sorry if anyone had to see that. I just can't believe that this moment is happening right now. It's like the 15th fan art of this week. I'm talking to so many amazing people on a stream. I've kind of dreamed of doing that. Yes, MS Paint. We gotta give love to MS Paint. That's where I got my start. That is for sure. That is a nice front-facing Apollo head, I have to say. Alright, Desi, thank you. It was beautiful to have you in here. And thank you for the fan art. This is real. This is real to me. That's a good Apollo head. Thank you so much. And I hope you sleep well. I'm glad you had fun, Desi. It was very enjoyable having you along. See you next time. Alright. Lots of goals being met here, ain't there? MS Paint most likely is the beginning point of millions of artists. Yes. That's gotta be true. Oh, excuse me. Why? Why can't you just be correct? Why can't you just be correct? Yeah, I should probably cool my jets on this stuff. Okay. It's a start. It's a start. It's a start. I love Apollo's eyelashes. Good. I do too. Kingslayer says, I wonder if I should try digital art. I've always just done pencil to paper. If you have the means, then definitely at least try it and see how you like it. Digital art is really, really, really fun for me, and it's very forgiving, which I like. I mean, obviously, can you imagine me trying to whittle away at this front-facing Apollo in traditional means, like, especially if it was, like, at this point I would have gone through, like, I would have erased, like, 16 holes through the paper. And that's the sort of artist I've always been, so traditional art is the only way to go for me, basically. Or, I mean, digital art. Digital art is the only way to go for me. For that reason. Yeah, I'm more intimidated by traditional art, to be honest with you. I'm way more intimidated by traditional art. There's a lot of options with digital, that's also true. Lots of... You have access to more resources, per se, through programs than you do with physical, traditional tools, all, like, individually. Yeah, that's what King Oz was saying, like, you don't have to buy any specialized brushes or paints or markers or anything, or canvases, or... Yeah, most of my sketches would be more eraser marks than lines. It's been that way. I'm looking at some sketchbooks over there that are basically just eraser marks. Okay, should I wind down by watching a little bit of tennis footage and then slinking off into the unknown? Where I belong. Their little ponytail up here. That doesn't look right. Now maybe I'll just leave that to imagination. Yeah, I don't know. Mostly been trying shapes and shadings so far. Yeah, no reloading your save, exactly. It's like with traditional sculpting, it's extremely unforgiving. Oh god, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, this looks like it's sticking out of their head. That's not what I'm trying to go for here. Okay, I'll sleep on this for now. It's definitely a start. And the side one looks good. I don't know if the hand is what I want, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Yeah, so I'm thinking about watching a little bit of tennis before I go. Of my tennis. Is anybody here a tennis fan or have played tennis before? It's a recent obsession of mine. King also says, also going to ask this again since I think you missed it. Are there going to be any new major characters introduced in Act 2? And is that something you can't share right now? I will not share, I will not answer either way right now. But thank you for asking. I'm sorry for not answering. But if that were to come to pass, that would be a big thing. Wow! Wow! Oh, goodness. That works out decently well, I suppose. So, I don't know if anybody's really interested in this, but I want to hang out for a couple more minutes. I also want to look at some of my training from the other day. Let's go into the middle here when I start to get a groove going. Nice. That's what you like to see. How's this looking? Okay. It's kind of hard to see. No, it's not bad, actually. It's a little skippy sometimes. Actually, there's not much point to doing this on stream, but now that I've started it, I'll show a little bit more. You see, I'm a very easily angered person. I get angry at myself very quickly. I was trying to relearn a basic. I was trying to learn something from the ground up again. Yeah, I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea, but I'm suddenly feeling very self-conscious. Like, why did I decide to do this? Not that I'm like embarrassed at my skill level, it's just I feel like it was an odd thing to decide to show to the world in a Diminish stream. I think, yeah, my initial thought was I was going to actually work on this video for my tennis channel, but then I ended up working on failing at front-facing Apollo for 3 hours, and then, yeah, literally 3 hours, wow. Well, that was a decent stretch. I can end on that stretch, actually. Yeah, I'll look at this more later. But hopefully you enjoyed that little amount. Whoops, I forgot how this was originally set up. Oh, like this, right? Yeah, something like that. I guess. I'm gonna look at this and despise myself tomorrow. I'm not gonna like that. I can already tell. Here's a couple of things I can still try. Because I'm a madman. What is wrong with me? Oh yeah, definitely don't avoid the eye, because the other one did not, so that would just look really weird. Oh, that's kind of disturbing. Once again, the extremely sensitive pen settings coming into play. Sorry if that startled anybody. If not the actual thing that happened, then my reaction to it, certainly. Okay, yeah, I should probably chill out on this. Black hole. Okay, I'm gonna catch up on chat. I've just been having a conversation with myself for about 6 minutes plus. You guys can stare at front Paulo as side Paulo, armless side Paulo, silently judges. It's like, you're nothing. One more thing before that. And now, it's been 6 years since I checked on chat. Let me raise the hands a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That could even come up more. 2. That might be better. I think it is. So many frickin' micro adjustments. And still might not end up being even close to what I want. That is art. Interesting. Okay, back to the judgment of side Apollo on front-facing Apollo. Front Apollo, if you will. Which you have been. Now, I am 16 trillion years behind on chat. Let's do this. God, I'm sorry. Thank you, Please More Cats, saying that's a real good-looking Apollo. Doing more traditional than anything. No characters or anything. No perspective yet. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot of stuff to think about. It's hard to focus on. It's hard to know what to focus on first. Played a lot of tennis during high school. It was fun. You get back into it. That's cool. Wanted to get into tennis, but there weren't any clubs. That stinks. B&B says, I played tennis on Wii Sports, so I totally know the rules of tennis. You are probably #1 in the world caliber of a tennis player. Man, this is making me want to play tennis now. If you're the person in the Discord who wanted to do a draw pile with me, nice. Kingslayer says, is there really a starting point for drawing? I'm not super sure on where to begin. Doodling. If you have free time, like if you're doing something in life, like where you have a moment where you just need some downtime and you have nothing to do, doodle. That's what I recommend. That's how I started. Hunger would be better, but hardly am able to keep doing it. That's a shame. If you have the hunger, then if you see an opportunity, even one that doesn't seem immediately intuitive, then you'll grab it. You'll find a way. You didn't fail the front-facing snot. You beat the boss. That's debatable. I'll see how I feel. Once again, I'll see how I feel about this tomorrow. That'll be the test. C9 mango. I'm glad you enjoyed the tennis, Cecilia. Everyone has different styles and techniques of drawing, absolutely. A good analogy I saw on Twitter is that it's all basically trying to solve a problem. How do I draw this? And how do you solve that problem is valid. Yeah, I like that. Sorry the messages only now just loaded, Ozzo, yeah. You DM, so sure. Black hole, status diminished. Has anyone compared Apollo to Anubis yet? Yes, yes, Misty C. I have seen a comparison. I think it was on YouTube. Yeah. I did see a comparison. And it was recent, so I don't think any version of Apollo would have it in them to call any other version of themselves anything less than perfect. That is a great point, Celine. The King also says, I cannot believe I never made the Anubis connection. Was that all intentional? No. I was not thinking of Anubis, but I love it. I love that connection, actually. I think that is a cool connection to make. Sorry. I have problems, I'm sorry. Now it looks like a mouth going... God, I'm so... I won't say it. Uh-oh, I got some of the eye. This is so hard! Yeah, and then that just screws everything up. I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm confused. Why is this so difficult? Just to get it to look how it looks in my head. Wait, actually better? I'm so discouraged. After all these years, I just can't figure this out. I'm sorry for being so pessimistic, everybody. This is just really getting on my nerves. This has been happening for so long. It just it feels like I'm not making any progress with this as a concept. It just always masters me. Sorry. Whatever. Why am I even doing this? I'm not gonna keep it. At least those specific changes. I'm probably gonna redraw the head again. It's mocking me every time. It just mocks me. Apollo dressed as Anubis. Good God, please. Chat, any percent run. It's a good Rolling Stones song. 2,000 light years from chat. 2,000 light years, yeah. The Stickmen massacre is during the doodles, yeah. Markov said, I've been wanting to go swimming for so long, but the fitness center has been closed for nearly a year from COVID. Been trying to get into a basic home exercise routine. That sucks. Well, not trying to get into a basic home exercise routine, that's great, but not being able to go swimming for a full year when you want to, that's really rough. Days of free time, good. Every big assignment is done by now, you're just kind of finding stuff to do? Nice. You can't play your instrument at home? Aw. Keep fighting the good fight, I will. You think it looks wonderful? Thank you. Yeah, I know I'm sure it doesn't look bad, it's just, I can't get it to look how it looks in my head. What am I doing? What am I doing? Why are you doing this? What is the point of what you're about to do? I like how I ignored absolutely everything that I was saying to myself. I just didn't even think about it. Big-eared boy. Ah. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. I need to give this a rest. I need to stop. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys are seeing progress. I will take that to heart. You think this is one of my most productive art streams? Yeah, this is one of the most, this is a very real, what you just saw is something that happens to me often. This is a very raw and transparent moment that you've been a part of, so I'm glad that you have been enjoying it. I really should give myself a break. It is fairly late after all. As in 1 a.m., which is fairly late, as they might say. Oh, Lord. Stop. Don't go back in. Don't go back in. Don't go back in. Don't go back in. Whatever. It is what it is. Tomorrow. Put the pen down. Put the pen down. Okay. Constantly getting distracted by shiny dangling things. Yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna take a break. Suddenly most YouTube videos look significantly more appealing when you're trying to draw. Yeah, I get you, Rakov, yeah. Well, yes, I would love to know the history of cheese. Cheese 05. Yeah, alright guys, this has been fantastic as usual. I am the luckiest person alive, and it's all thanks to you. And I will never be able to express my gratitude. But I'm very grateful. And I hope that you all enjoyed. It seems that you have again, and it makes me happy. I'm happy when you are happy. Very, very true thing. There you go. Thank you, Cecilia. Yeah, drawing is such... That's what's so frustrating about this. Like, I don't know how to critique myself in order to solve this problem. And it's been this way for years. It's been unsolved for years. And I don't seem to be acquiring a better path toward finding the correct solutions. But that is a good point, Kingslayer. Thank you, King Aso. I'm so happy that you... It does... Thank you, King Aso. You're fine. I'm so happy, Rakov. Alright, everybody. Yeah, I should give myself a break. Turn off this freaking monitor so I don't stare at this and be mad at myself. No, we can look at fan art instead. How about that? That's a much better alternative. Far better than just giving up. Alright. Thank you all so much for everything. You are changing my life. You left these streams in me in a very bi way. Beautiful. I'm glad, King Aso. Thank you all for having me. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity, this platform. It makes me extremely happy. Sorry, I was getting down on myself there. It's part of the process. I hope you all have a great one. I wish you all the very best that life has to offer, and I will see you next time. Until then, dream on, friends. Peace. Thank you so much. I love you.